They're a funny old thing, aren't they? They sit there quietly doing their thing in the background without giving it a thought. And then something like this happens. The dash cam in this van, this is the 1991 GMC Safari. It's quite an old one. It's probably about 8-10 years old. I don't even know if it works. I know it turns on because it beeps when I start the van. But because it's quite an old one, it's front facing only, and there's no facility on it for me to download the footage directly to my phone. You have to pop the SD card out. So because of what happened yesterday in my work truck, and ironically, just like the song, I'd already bought a new dash cam to go into this vehicle. I thought that was the prompt that I needed to get it done. Will give us a little bit more functionality. Also, the installation of the current dash cam in here is quite messy, so I want to neaten it up a little bit because this van is going to more and more shows, as you've seen, so I like it to be neat. So let's put a new dash cam in. This is the dash cam that we'll be fitting. It's a SAVUSCAM dash cam 4K control loop recording new. I wonder where that was made. And this came from Amazon. It was £33 something on a deal with 25% off. I'll put a picture up and a link. And this is it. Comes with your camera. Looks nice and neat. Power cable. That's the camera for the rear window. And the little sticky bracket that fits it to the windscreen. Now, that comes with a cigarette lighter plug power cable. I want to wire this in neatly so that you don't see a great deal of the cables. You can buy a 24-hour parking monitor hardware kit, which is available separately, but that costs about the same amount as the camera itself. So what I've done, I bought that little cigarette lighter fitting, dashboard mounted fitting. That came off Amazon. That was less than a £5. Again, I'll put the link up. But I should be able to, hidden up in the roof space, I should be able to put that in. I'll insulate it and fit insulated fittings. And we've got permanent or ignition feed constantly without having wires hanging all over the dashboard like before. So I found a bit of wire just out the scrap bin, and I'm going to pre-install it on the socket ready to go into the overhead console. When we connect those into the loom of the vehicle, we're going to be using these janky little Scotch lock connectors that I don't really like, but they do a job. Here's the camera as it stands. It's mounted behind the rear view screen so that we don't see it. This camera is probably 10 years old. It's one of the old Next-based ones, which used to be quite a common brand. I genuinely don't know if it works. I've not pulled the SD card out of it to have a look, We will recycle this and we'll put it into another one of the vehicles, probably the V8 WJ. So how this gets its power at the moment, it disappears up behind the headlining up there, goes all the way along there, kind of pops out there, and it goes underneath the dash mat and into that USB socket on the dashboard. Now the issue with this is, apart from the fact that it uses that USB socket, which could be used for, I don't know, Mrs. Oldtimer plugging in her phone, also the dash mat doesn't sit flat because it's got a big coil of cable underneath it. It looks a bit messy. It looks messy up there. What I want to do is have the cable following the cable for the rear view camera screen, which disappears behind this center console here. I know that behind that center console there's an ignition live because the rear view mirror screen is connected to it, and I know that there's an earth up there and whatever because of the lights on the switches for the rear lights. So when you switch one of those on, it's hard to see, but there's a light on in there, so that means that there's an earth. So the plan is run the cable up here from the new dash cam up into behind this console, and that's where we're going to be hiding our cigarette lighter socket and taking our power, so that the dash cam will power up as soon as the ignition's turned on. The overhead console is held on by 4 Phillips head screws. They're quite long and they're a bit fiddly as to where they go in. I know this because I've been in there before. So you've got one screw there, one there, and then at the front there's one there and one there. So we'll pop those out. And there we see the rat's nest that is the wiring that they thought was a good idea back in the 90s. So tracing the wires back for the rear view camera, it gets its earth from there, that one there, and then it gets a ignition switch live from there. So we'll connect into those two with our new socket and put the adapter in and screw it all back. This is the rear view camera wiring. I'm not fitting the rear view camera at the moment because it's quite a run to the back and it's quite complex. But I'm going to pop the rear view camera up in the roof space up there, leaving our connector out, which we can plug into the camera, and I can reroute that as and when I come to go into all the electronics above the cab roof. And then there's our socket that's all wired in. Pop that in. That's the power converter and it's a USB-C connector for the camera. We'll drop that out the front of the console and we'll put it all back together. This is where our camera's going to go, kind of tight up against that old mirror mount. That way I know it's level and kind of in the centre of the windscreen. So I've already cleaned the windscreen with an alcohol wipe. Just need to remove this sticky pad off, which is the same as you would attach a mirror. And that's off. So butt it up against there and straight onto the windscreen. It helps that the sun's been out, which means that the windscreen's warm rather than it was first thing this morning when I started doing this and it was wet. So angle the screen of the camera so that it's kind of level. That looks level. We can take, there's a screen protector on it, take that off. Then we've got our two cables here that come from up in the console. We've got our power cable, which annoyingly isn't an angled one. That goes like that. And then we've got our feed for our rear camera. We'll plug it in now. And then, there you go. So we'll see if it comes on. So we'll pop the key in the ignition. And we've got power. And there we go. Power's up. Start recording. So we'll get it set up now. Unit comes with quite a good manual actually. It comes with plenty of QR codes that take you to the link that you need to download the app, which I'll show you how it works in a minute. And also information on how to set up the dash cam, how to connect Wi-Fi. There are troubleshooting guides, list of everything that you need. It's one of the better manuals that I've seen. You can even scan to email. So download the app, which I believe is called Vidua, and connect to the dash cam and we can set it up then. And I've just tidied it up by wrapping the two cables in insulation tape, just so it looks a little bit neater. This is the screen that you see when you first turn the dash cam on. It's difficult for me to focus on it. In fact, I can't focus on it. There you go. It basically tells you the Wi-Fi and the password, so you can connect your phone to it. Press the button on the side of the camera and it goes to a clock screensaver, and press it again and it goes back to the live view of what the dash camera can see. So once we've connected the camera to the Wi-Fi on the phone and downloaded the app, we'll be able to set it up. And here it is all in and done. All the cables hidden away. Obviously no cable up there anymore because I've took that dash cam out, and the dash mat sits a lot flatter. It will sit flatter once I've put some double-sided tape in there. It's got a bit of fabric memory, I think. But yeah, that looks much better. And right about now you were supposed to get a video of me setting up the app, but the video didn't work for some reason. So here is a screen grab of me accessing the app for the first time and connecting to the Wi-Fi. Here we are having a bit of a test drive. It's all up and working and running and doing what it should do in the background. Being a dash cam. I'll put some footage up now taken from the dash cam itself so that you can see the quality of it. If this video has helped you out, then consider giving me a like or even a subscribe. I promise I won't spam you with any rubbish. And if this particular video seems a little bit disjointed, I do apologise, but I was waiting part of the way through for a grandchild to be born. So there you go. Congratulations, Mike and Georgie. Welcome, baby Elliot. Thanks for watching. Hope it's helped you out.